Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Welcome back to the Spez podcast. Oh, I'm so excited because I want to officially call this season 2. We are in season 2, baby. This is like so exciting. I didn't even know that I was gonna really take this serious. I didn't think people were listening. I didn't think that I would have things to talk about. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying this space. And like this podcast, it's about letting the soul speak. We're not holding back. We're not holding in. We're creating light hearts. My yacht would not like that. She wouldn't like a heavy heart. So we're here to lighten our hearts, or, I'm here to hopefully inspire you to lighten your heart and let it go. We have to let it go. Whatever that is, the truth sometimes gets messy, as above, so below. So I'm so excited for season 2, and it's just a refresher energy. We survived the new moon in Scorpio. We're still dealing with some of that energy because it was earlier this week. And, I'm glad we're on season 2 because the last couple of episodes that I had were a little intense. And I was worried about putting it out. And, the little girl in me was like, maybe you should take it down. And I did take one down. And I was like, no, I need to put them back up. And they just need to be out here and they need to be gone. Scorpio, I think of rebirth, I think of transformation. And so what is more transformation than just really letting the shit hit the fan, to be honest? What do I have to hide? I don't have anything to hide. And we're all going through things that have been suppressed and repressed, and we really need to let that go so we can flourish and grow. So speaking of grow, today's episode is called I'm Grown Now. So if y'all was one of them girls back in the day, then y'all know who Tiffany Evans is. Promise Ring and I'm Grown Now. So I channeled her song for about, I want to say maybe 3 days before the new moon in Scorpio. Now, I was already preparing myself to release all this stuff. Like I said before, just doing a lot of journaling and setting a lot of goals for the transformation that I would like to see in my life moving forward. And I just kept hearing, I'm grown now, I'm grown now, I'm grown now. And I was just like, yeah, I am grown, but no, we really are grown now. Some of the shit that we've been through in the last, I want to say 3 years, has been insane. 111 as I say that. Wow. So we really have been through some shit that either tore us down and we're still struggling to get up from, or have tore us down and we really built something out of nothing with it. And that's usually what I say. I take my pain and I use it for something. I was going through some pain and I made my whole massage business. I was going through pain and came up with this podcast and started putting things on YouTube. I didn't think of it over money. I didn't think of fans. I didn't think of subscribers. I just thought I need to be able to voice myself how I want to, authentically. And I feel now it's really showing us how much we've grown. Seriously. Yeah, I'm grown now, but we also grown. We are growing. We have grown, It's we can officially say we're grown. And not it's not depending on age. It's about the spiritual age. We say we're old souls, right? We resonate with that phrase, but we really are, like, and we're growing more and more. Like, do you know how many portals we're going through? Do you know how much work that we're doing subconsciously? Do we know how many loops we're going through? Like how many portals, and just like the things that we're aware of. Like, one of my mentors says, like, a lot of people see us differently. And I feel like we don't, right now, the energy I'm feeling is like, we don't even care about how they're seeing us. We can feel the difference. There's certain things that I stopped doing and I'm like, yeah, that's not for me anymore. Like, I've stepped into a status, like I've actually stepped into that Fresh Prince Princess hood. If you haven't checked out that podcast, go check it out. It's called Fresh Prince Princess. But we're actually stepping into that hood, and that priesthood, where we're saying, no, I want champagne in my champagne glass. I'm not dealing, you know what I mean? It's like we set our boundaries, and it's like official. Like official. I don't know if it was the actual new moon in Scorpio or the energy moving up to it, but even 2 days before that. So like, I'm grown, right? And I'm going to read the lyrics, but I'm grown. That's about 2008, 2009. So I was almost in high school, right before high school type of energy. And so when I think about that, I'm just like, okay, like, that was a long time ago. And I went down a whole binge on like just songs that like Promise Ring and like old Sierra and like A. Marie, and like I went down a whole old rabbit hole of R&B and just listened to that. And then I spent some time listening to old theme songs from like Nickelodeon and Disney, and it really threw me back because I just was like enjoying the feeling. Like, my inner child was happy singing those songs, and like right now I'm still watching like True Jackson VP, so I'm really trying to finish that. But I also found some other shows that I saved where I'm like, yeah, like watching it from a different perspective as a grown person, right? And not as a child and believing everything you see, and like, not having boundaries to the illusions, right? Because if you're young and you watch High School Musical, you really think you're about to be dancing on the high school tables. And maybe you did, but I definitely thought that, I was going to be hopping and singing and dancing on my lunch tables. And that did not happen for me. And so, like, we have to grow up. So just thinking about this, we really have matured in our spirituality, which in turn has allowed us to grow physically and mentally and outwardly. Like, it does show, just based on how we carry ourselves now. What did luxury mean to us last month really stuck out to me, because we have to really figure out we're not babies anymore. And yeah, we may be young, but most of us want families, we want children, we want marriages, we want businesses that last a long, long time so our children don't have to work. And that's grown mindset. That's a mature mindset. That is a mindset that is going to create legacies. And my mentor also told me that we are going to we are the ground workers. So right now, the things that we are doing is going to set up the old money for our next generations and generations. And I absolutely believe that. Because there's a lot of things that have been like, we had our ground workers and they got us to where, we are now with, technology, and, people are working from home more now. You didn't really think YouTube was a job until it started becoming a real career for some people. And then it's like, oh, the occupations have really changed, from when our parents were growing up and their grandparents. So we really have elevated in a way that's really going to transform us. And like I said, when I think about Scorpio season, I think about transformation and rebirth. And, you know, there's sex in there too, but I'm not mentioning that right now. It's just transformation and rebirth. I'm so excited because I feel like when I look towards grown people growing up, I always thought that their word was bond, and that their word was serious, and they, you know, it was truthful. And so obviously I'm a grown person now with my own child, and so I know that they're not always truthful and their word is not always bond. But this is where we differ. I feel like we've kept some bonds and we wrote some contracts with God, and we're going to stick to them. I feel like we're going to be very serious about the things that we do and how we carry ourselves, because we have taken accountability for the fact that where we are right now presently, we have manifested that. Ooh, almost sneezed. We manifested that. I know for a fact, I said when I have children, I want to be a stay-at-home mom and blah, 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 and try to work and do my little passions. Now I'm here and I'm like, okay, now, so it's, you know, your word is bond, and you have to make sure you're okay with what you ask for, because yes, not everything is going to come specifically, but some things will come specific. And then you didn't add extra razzle dazzle in there to make your life worldwide. I mean, worldwide. Make it worldwide. Why did I just think of the in this deck? Hold on. Worldwide. I have the Illuminated Tarot deck, and I just thought of the Ace of Pentacles in this deck, but it's also the World card. Interesting. Hold on. And if you hear anything, you know it's my prince. If you're new here, I have a prince, and so he's always making his vocal debut in my work. Yeah, so in this deck, Illuminated Tarot deck, the Ace of Pentacles is also the World card. So I want to read this off because I find it interesting that I said worldwide, and I don't even know what I was talking about before that. Like, okay, so Ace of Diamonds, the world, peace, travel, open-mindedness. Huh. Oh, I was talking about how word is bond, and right, okay, so what's going on with this? What's going on with this? Oh, yes. So, and the Queen of Swords just came out. Strategic with your thoughts, but like I said, so we do have to be careful. Oh, and the Two of Swords in this deck, which is also the Hangman, but it's in reverse. And then the Empress, the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups was also the Empress. And the Ten of Cups, which is the Wheel of Fortune. I wasn't even expecting to pull out the cards right now. I'm actually shocked. Okay, so what I got was the Ace of Pentacles, but in this deck it's also the World card. The Queen of Swords. The Two of Swords. But in this deck, it is also the Hangman, and it was in reverse. And then I have the Queen of Cups, but this is the Empress in this deck, and the Ten of Cups, and this is the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Hold on a second. So we are free here. I said I felt really good. I felt good. I told y'all that the last 3 or 4 episodes of the podcast were kind of heavy. Even for me, I was emotional. And I did feel after those were posted that, you know, the demonic energy was scrambling. Like, you know, people that I know were really scrambling They really were. And it was pathetic. But that's because I already released that energy. It cannot stay in my mind anymore. It can't stay in my body. I'm grown. I have things to do. You know? And after that, I just felt a rush of inner child energy where I felt safe and I could just watch all the theme songs to my shows and sing and dance and just sweat, and I was having a great time. Even was crying and tears of joy while I was watching these shows and singing these songs. And then the actual new moon of Scorpio, I was cleaning. I was listening to all type of old, like it was definitely 80s pop, a lot of 90s pop. It was definitely older. It definitely gave me older. Even Billy Ocean came on, which my mentor talked about that, and boom, like Billy Ocean just came out of nowhere, and I never really heard of him. I just heard of his name. But then when Billy Ocean came on, I was like, wow, like we really are growing in maturity in all ways. Our spiritual relationships, our mental relationship with ourselves. We are healing our chakras for sure, where we know that there's certain blocks due to like the pains that we're having in our body, and like we know that we need to get better with our health and like with our relationship with money and how we treat ourselves. It really, like this past weekend was really great. Like, and I know that, you know, Scorpio season may be tough for us still, but as long as we have like an open mind about it, if we know that the things, if we're subconsciously and consciously making divine steps towards our purpose, we shouldn't be worried. We shouldn't be worried. We cannot control the outcome anyway, so we can only show up for ourselves as we can show up that day. That's the only thing we can do. And so the Ten of Hearts, which is the Wheel of Fortune in this deck, is plans set in motion. So we are really like realizing that we have things to do. Like we're grown. We have business to take care of. We can't be at these family functions dealing with drama and y'all still arguing about the same stuff and who baby daddy, this, that. No, we have no time for this. Oh, these friends who only call you when they got something wrong going on in their life, we don't have time for this. We have plans to set in motion. And us being the Queen of Cups, but the Empress in this deck, we have things to take care of, okay? Queen of Hearts, the Empress, fertility, responsibility to nature. We have a responsibility to, one, tell the truth. For two, to be the light workers that we are, the light beings that we are. We have a responsibility to keep our light heart. And we have a responsibility to keep loving no matter what. We have divine love within us. And so we have to keep loving. But we also need to set boundaries on that love. We also need to strengthen the love for ourselves and the things that we enjoy. We also have to be responsible on how we show up in the world, how we talk to people, how we handle business. As soon as I say business, I split the deck and it's the Three of Wands here. Efforts with rewarded in success. That's crazy. Like we have to really, we can't, and I don't want to say we can't depend on anyone, but nobody else can make our dreams come true. We have the ones that put both feet out there and literally jump off the cliff and make the shit happen. We have to be grown about this. We're not going to have mommy and daddy holding our hand, because for majority of us, mommy and daddy are out of the picture anyway. They're out of the picture anyway. Queen of Swords again. We have strategically figured out who was doing what was doing who, and how we allowed certain BS to happen in our lives. We're grown now. We can self responsibility. There's no more victim blaming. There's no more victim blaming. There's no more regrets. There's no more resentment. There's no more Five of Cups upright energy. No, the Magician is here. We have magically healed ourselves, you know, obviously with God, you know. But we have magically healed ourselves. We have jumped through a whole bunch of portals that allowed us to heal in a faster time than we even thought. Because we have things we have to take care of. We have a whole mission out here in these streets. We really do. We have a mission that's divine. And the childish games is not going to stop us. Hangman in reverse. Well, hangman upright, which is him upside down. And then the sun card is here. Like, and it's number 9 on this card. We have literally completed the childish games. We can now hold ourselves accountable. Like now, okay, so if you don't work out today, you need to make sure you double up next week, because like we're not gonna be, pity partying ourselves and all that. We're grown. Let me get these lyrics out, because she was spitting in here too, and Bow Wow's in here, but that doesn't. So how could she really know what she wants? You're so stuck in the past like stonewashed jeans. I can endorse anything through me. I'm flyer than you thought I'd ever be. You wonder why I'm so cold. You could have been more involved, but no. I'm not the girl that you knew before. I can't believe you didn't know I'm grown. I'm grown now, certified and all that. You say what you want. You can't take a thing from me. I'm grown now. I'm grown now. Got my own money. You ain't gonna run me. I ain't no dummy. I'm grown now. So I can't believe they tried to block me, but you're still playing them games I thought you'd be. Up in my league, but no, you can't compete. Back up, don't touch. Gotta give me 50 feet, because I am on another level. This is the last time I'm gonna tell you I'm doing it big now. You want a piece, let it go. So I just want to prepare y'all that I do believe that people are going to be, I already told you, like, people were losing it. Like, people were losing it. And as I say that, Ace of Cups just fell out. Like, they're going to be trying to give you their heart and try to end right. The Lovers in reverse. It's not happening. People are losing it. Like, because you stepped up and said you're grown and you're not going to tolerate certain stuff, and you cut off your energy, and you've really taken steps even with yourself. Like, you set goals for yourself that you want to accomplish during the season, but also in November. Set your November goals. Start journaling more. Go outside while you can, because this is getting a little chilly out here, man. This is kind of crazy. And make sure that we taking care of ourselves. Like, Death card. Rebirth. What did I say? Like, we have really taken the steps to rebirth our lives. And how do we want to show up? We're grown now. We can actually figure out how we want to show up. What kind of furniture you want in your house? What type of glasses you gonna be drinking from? What kind of clothes you gonna be wearing? What kind of car you want to wear? How do you want to smell in the morning? Like, once you pour that love into yourself, and then the Lover's card fell out on the floor, but it's upright. And then the Two of Cups, which is the Temperance card. It's like, we really have shown ourselves the love. Like, I had such a blissful feeling over this weekend. Like, right before the new moon, and then on the new moon, like, just that day. Like, and even that day, it rained, it was dark, but it was the release. All of that crap is gone, bro. You released it, and you have really, literally yelled out, spoke out, used your throat chakra on how you wanted to feel, and then you strengthened your solar plexus. I think I mentioned that before in one of my podcasts back. They was kind of heated, but I did think I said something about heart chakra and solar plexus vibes for sure. But we used that throat chakra, and it really activated the heart chakra. I feel so at bliss just being able to be like, okay, I did my podcast and I released it. I didn't even know that I was going to do season 2. I just was like, nothing is going up like behind that. Like, I don't even have that energy anymore. And I end up saying that to my mentor on accident. Like, she mentioned my podcast, and she's like, yeah, you just did that one about your mom, and you know, she was like, you gotta see like where's the emotion coming from. And I told her, I was like, yeah, like I put in the description that was an angry eyebrow from TikTok kind of podcast, but I meant podcast episode, not podcast. Like, this podcast is not an angry one. This is about healing here. Oh my goodness, at the bottom of the deck is justice. Oh man. Yeah. Like, those were heated, and sometimes it needs to get heated. Some of these people need to know what they really be doing, and sometimes you got to check yourself too, and being like, you allow certain things to happen to you. You allowed yourself to get played, you know, and that's okay. We're learning, and but we're grown now. We're not naive little babies anymore, you know, and because they see us differently, they see us as we've grown. And we definitely have. We are the same person, but we've taken things a little bit more serious. We know God got our back, so there is no more playing around and scooting around the plan. This is about being serious with his plan and making sure it goes in order, because he's going to make us do it, and it's not going to feel so good. So we might as well put our big girl panties on, put our drawers on now, because we got to move different. Move different. We got to move godly. We've strengthened our self-worth during this time. And with that being said, that means we're not dealing with bare minimum. We're not dealing with below the barrel. We're not dealing with two of cups in reverse. We're not dealing with that energy. So if you see a lot of ones, or if you see a lot of eights, I feel like this will be what you need to look out for, as far as like transformation, as far as like new beginnings, how you think about yourself, because it's that time. It's that time. Like, we are literally going to new levels. And you're going to feel it energetically first. You're really going to feel it energetically first. And then once you totally feel it energetically, it's going to come right in front of your eyes. Right in front of your eyes. Number 118. A divine sign. Commit more time and effort to your spiritual rituals. Whatever that is for you. Routines. It doesn't have to be rituals. But spend more time doing it. It's time for you to awaken. So I feel like we've already been doing this, but I feel like now we have no other choice but to actually make time for, like, oh, you make time to binge watch your show, or make sure you binge your time with God for a set amount of time and be consistent. Oh, I do want to mention the hermit crab. I mentioned that before, where, we really got too big for the shell, and now we got a new shell, and it's much more space. Why did the hermit card? Okay, at the bottom of the deck right here is the hermit card. And there's actually an actual hermit crab on this card, which is also the 9 of Pentacles. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold up. That's crazy. Hold on. I just want to give you these keywords, because sacrifice without regret and self-care. So we literally did that. Even a hermit crab, you getting too big for the shell, you gotta leave it. You gotta sacrifice it. And we was getting a little bit too big for our families. We was getting a little bit too big. Our spirit, our hearts are a little bit too big for some of these people. They can't handle it. Our energy be too much. Look, Queen of Wands right here. Confidence. We was a little bit too much for them. And we had to move our grown asses on. We had to be grown and have strength and see where we needed to move on respectfully. Why is the Emperor under here? Respectfully, with wisdom and knowledge and say, hey, look, you got to be the leader of your own life. We're grown now. We're grown now. We're really leveling up. Like, oh, I did look up the hermit crab. Okay, so the hermit crab symbolism, ability to grow, the totem animal for major changes, jobs, moving, and relationships. Symbol of protection as well, due to the ability to retreat, to go within, reflection and introspection. Also, rebirth, renewal, and the power to transform. This is a reminder to survive and thrive. We must too be able to let go of our old ways and embrace new ones. They can remind us to be adaptive, to grow, and that nothing is permanent. It also teaches us the importance of taking time to reflect within ourselves. Did we cause this? Did other people cause this? Did we see the red flags and ignore them? Did we see the pink flags and ignore them? Okay. We're grown now. That's what God is telling us. We're grown now. We have been able to create magic by literally healing. You didn't think you was going to get away from them family members anytime soon. You thought they was going to be ride or die, right? No, magically they disappeared. Because they had to. Queen of Diamonds right here. Queen of Pentacles. And she got her hand right over her solar plexus. There's some grounding energy. Like we understand now. We understand what it takes and the actions we need to do to move forward divinely. And honestly, I feel like, oh, we're grown, so we have the strength, we have the confidence. It's strengthened. We know now that what not following our intuition can get us into. We know that what following our flesh can get us into. And it's a time for fully trusting in our intuition, fully trusting in our gut, fully trusting in our emotions, the way we feel towards something, and fully trusting God, first and foremost. God has showed us time and time again that He's with us, but we're also grown. Like, we can handle it. That's why He gave it to us. He's literally like, you got it. I'm right here though, but you got it. So I have some questions that I feel like will be great for journaling, and I'm definitely going to do it because when these questions came to me, I was like, oh, I need to get to asking myself. So, would you be able to handle a life-changing transformation right now? 333, as I said that. What does loyalty mean to you? And have you ever felt hyper-emotional or emotionally available? Why? Man, y'all, I'm excited. I'm excited for this season 2. I don't really know what to expect. I don't want to plan everything. I really don't. I don't want to plan everything, but it's definitely going to be lighter. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be structured for sure. But it's all about transformation. Like, this podcast is going to transform. You're going to transform. Our energy is transforming. Our physical reality is transforming. We are grown, y'all. Like, we really made it. Like, we made it. We're not babies no more. Like, we literally made it. And now we can live our lives as the adults we always picture our lives to be growing up. Like, we don't have to be like, oh, when I want to grow up, I want to be that. You can be that. You can be that. We can be it. We just have to set ourselves up for that. And it'll come. It'll come. Like, I'm just excited, y'all. Like, right now, the Chariot is here. The Chariot and the Ace of Swords. The clarity is coming. The energy for you to focus towards your goals and your dreams is coming. The confidence that you want to complete your dreams is coming. But you can't be afraid of the outcome. You have to take that confidence and run with it. You can't let that confidence turn into anxiety. You can't let the energy that you get in your solar plexus and your sacral chakra and think that it's anxiety. No, that's energy for you to keep going. No, that's the focus you need to keep going. That's the motivation that you should be taking to complete your goals. And then be grateful for completing them. So, I love y'all. I love y'all. I can't wait to see y'all again. I can't wait to get back on here because I have no idea what's coming up next. I have no idea. But that's the whole point of a transformation. When a caterpillar is in the cocoon, they have no idea what's going on. The world looked different to them when they were a caterpillar. So the world is definitely about to look different now that they did all this hard work. They were in the cocoon. They were in hermit mode. They had to sit there. And then boom, they blow up and blow out and fly away. The world is going to look very different. They're going to have different people that they interact with. A different environment. Even though in the same environment. Different environment, but in the same area. So, I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm excited to see what we come up with for season 2. This is exciting. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. I am open. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.